Put me in your dreams. If you're dreaming through your day, put me in your dreams. If you're dreaming through your day, think of me when you're in the clouds. When they blow away, put me in your dreams. When you're dreaming.
Now, as individual beings in the gross realm, we're always reaching to the subtle, because that represents our future evolutionary trajectory. So we have this sense of wanting this future, reaching toward making these subtle things real, and we do that in certain ways. But perhaps from the perspective of the whole, the real gig is not to reach up into the subtle realms, but that everything that is subtle is only subtle because it hasn't yet achieved its purpose, which is to become gross. And that this makes things much more easily shareable. That even animals and people are being able to point to shared objects over time.
Would you close your eyes and hope you might start dreaming again?
There's this really cool idea I have, and that is if we look at some things that have actually concretized in the gross realm for ourselves, like other people. We look at earlier species. It is not clear that, for example, fish that swim in a swarm have a concept of otherness, right? And so we look at earlier evolutionary forms. We think of early man, you think of some of the early art in man. It's not clear that they have a concept of otherness. Maybe the shamans had a concept of otherness, but it was subtle. And at some point, it becomes so concrete, we see other people there. Now we know we're not other, but otherness has concretized for us. If you don't put the temporal framework on it, then you can eliminate time and say everything transforms into more multiply concrete and shareable objects. It's so common, we want to make it less. But it's really nice to be able to say, oh, let's paint this purple versus this nuance for all this subtle stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if it was just there, shareable, yes. Boom, done. And to me, that's kind of a post or trans-dialectical wording of that. And so everything is already there, and the only transformation is the crystallizations, the multiple crystallizations. Spirit as infinitely articulating more and more of its detail. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time to say that, in which the small parts complexify over time into more complexity. This can't be more of the explanation than this. At best, they need to mandala flow into each other. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah. But you will find that there's this bias in all of the ways people answer this question. And it comes from one fundamental view versus the other. And because what we know about the dialectical mind, we know that we can do better than that.
I hear the bells ringing, I hear the bells call.
So you get outside of this question entirely. You don't resolve it. Kids will come and weigh themselves, they get on the scale, and then I'll say, how much does the scale weigh? And their head will go, they laugh, right? So you can't answer that question, you just see the trick that is being played when you ask the question. So eventually you see the trick that's being played when you're looking at metaphysical or ultimate ontological questions this way. The privileging of the subtle realms, which we all like because they're rare and they represent our future. I'll give you another reason to believe this. You know the guy that does pi to 5 million, he can recite pi to 5 million levels. Now, numbers, irrational numbers, are very subtle things. But these people go around and they don't think the math. This is how it occurs to them. Blue, purple, they look, black, blue, black, purple, blue. The subtle thing that is a number concretizes as a landscape for them, and these people can even draw it for you. So these are things that are reason to believe that this is the actual way things are working, that things become more and more, there's more and more expansion in the subtle realm over time. And to me, that's spirit. It's actually a temporal category, whereas the term body is a spatial category. And so what switches when we talk about spirit and body is nothing but the category we're stopping and the category we're extending. And for me, that answers the question or the exploration. It's one post-dialectic workspace of considering spirit becoming body.
Put me in your dreams, but if you don't, well, that's alright. Put me in your dreams, but if you don't, well, that's alright.